Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagadatmananji's inspiring bestseller Learn to Live, Volume 1, Chapter 2, Infinite Power Hidden Within You. Swami Vivekananda loved India intensely. Mother India was his goddess of worship. India in the past had attained supreme glory. But why is it that at present India is facing so many problems? How to solve these problems is discussed in the subsequent episodes. Now, let us listen to Swami Jagadatmananji's discussion on this subject. Prophets of Doom. The education that you are getting now has some good points, but it has a tremendous disadvantage, which is so great that the good things are all weighed down. In the first place, it is not a man-making education. It is merely and entirely a negative education. And negative education or any training that is based on negation is worse than death. The child is taken to school, and the first thing he learns is that his father is a fool. The second thing, that his grandfather is lunatic. The third thing, that all his teachers are hypocrites. The fourth, that all the sacred books are lies. By the time he is 16, he is a mass of negation, lifeless and boneless, says Swami Vivekananda. There is enough evidence to point to the great intellectual prowess of our ancient Indian culture. The whole world stood in amazement at the sight of the achievements of ancient India. It was that spirit that inspired the great far-sighted patriots of this country to fight for the liberation of the land from the exploitation by the foreigners, even by staking their lives. How is it that the millions of young people coming out of the portals of schools and colleges have not an iota of pride in the nation's glory and greatness? Yoga and Vedanta, dance and music, architecture, philosophy, the lives of saints and teachings of spiritual leaders of ancient India have attracted the attention of foreign intellectuals on the basis of their innate strength, in spite of the lack of any concerted efforts for their propagation. How is it that they do not appeal to the educated youth of our country? Should we not expect some elementary knowledge about these aspects of our culture, some interest and pride about them in our youth? Is there a basis for such an expectation? How is it that our present so-called progressive thinkers, revolutionaries, have only two things: exploitation and blind belief to say about all achievements, values of our country's tradition? Great leaders filled with an intense spirit of nationalism fought and wrested freedom for the country after a great deal of suffering and sacrifice. How is it that we find activities which strike at the very roots of the spirits of nationalism and patriotism all around us? How is it that our country is being torn apart by linguistic disputes, communal hatred, selfishness, the imitative spirit of intellectuals, widespread corruption and moral degradation, unfit politicians, profit-mongering manufacturers, black marketeers, selfish and corrupt public servants, idle laborers, undisciplined and indifferent students? Is this the country that we fought for? Is it possible to grow the fruit of national progress by sowing the seed of political hatred? Evidence of political corruption is mounting, but the culprits go unpunished. The misery of the poor is increasing, yet there seems no respite. The leaders constantly claim to be working hard for the welfare of the poor and the downtrodden. There is darkness everywhere. But those who occupy high places and those who hold the reins in the administration of the country proclaim, there is light everywhere. Is that enough? Is there no force to arrest this degradation and to save the nation? Is there no noble ideal which can unite the people of all parties, followers of different religions, and imbue them with a common goal to work towards the welfare of the country? What negative feelings crowd the self-image of our people? What a national disaster is awaiting us as a result. Tomorrow we will be discussing the episode Rejuvenation Needed. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.